Well, Toronto's World Cup journey is over for now, but the cheering for the Portuguese team continued last night at the Delta Hotel. That's where Courtney Heels is this morning. But Toronto is trying to continue to capitalize on its diverse multicultural identity and its status as a major global hub. And Toronto had a couple of big branding moments this week, not just FIFA, but also Raptors as well.
So joining us live now to dive into some of this is brand expert and host of the Chatter That Matters podcast, Tony Chapman in the house. Happy Friday, Tony. Great to see you.
Always a pleasure.
So it's been a huge sports week for our city. Let's start with the FIFA World Cup, because there it is. 6 matches hosted at Toronto Stadium. All done, and I think the report card is we did pretty well. And yesterday's match was a classic example of a kind of a fairy tale finish for what we wanted.
You know, we did incredibly well, but it's always like Canadians today are waiting for the sky to fall. You know, there's something's going to go wrong. And you know what? I think we showed the world that we're one beautiful city for hosting an event like that. And not just the physicality of the city, but the emotional part of the city, where we can really show people celebrating. They're on the streets. There's energy and everything what people, I think, imagine Canada to be around the world, they're seeing happening here, which is this multicultural city coming together and celebrating. So I thought it was fantastic. I'm so happy that we're still in the running.
Exactly.
And you know, I would love to see some more games here, and you can do the math all you want, but we've made the investment. We showcased it, and I hope now we can capitalize on it. Just quickly you think back when World Cup was in the States, I think 1996, and next thing, and the part of the deal was FIFA said we want a professional soccer league.
Yeah.
Back then, America said we're a professional soccer league. Well, look what's happened with MLS, and Messi's there, and Beckham, and so maybe now we can take the Whitecaps and Toronto FC, and maybe a team in Montreal, and continue to build soccer to where it deserves to be in Canada, with so many people coming from other countries with a soccer ball under their arm.
Do you see it distinguished between World Cup, because this is truly the World Cup, and I'm emphasizing world because World Series is really just North America, let's be quite frank about it, and then, you know, the NBA championship of several years ago with the Raptors. Do you see these as distinctly different, the games of the World Cup?
I think it is, but I think now that they're doing it every 2 years with the Women's World Cup and the Male World Cup, it's going to become part of our rhythm. It's going to become part of our psychology. And I think what we're going to see is more and more Canadian kids aspiring to play on a world stage, not just even the MLS. The MLS, I can go over to the Premier League. I can get. So that's the showcase. So I think the fact FIFA, for all the reasons not to question that organization, the one thing that they do very well is they build football, or soccer as we know it here, as a world sport. And I think that they've done a great job, and I think that making the decision to play across Mexico, United States, and Canada is going to prove to be a very good strategy for grassroots soccer, leading obviously to what ultimately matters is box office sales, merchandise, sponsorships, and everything else that makes the world go around in sports nowadays.
Yeah, we definitely need more of that grassroots focus and development with not just soccer, but any other sport.
We're really not. We're really, a lot of Canadians are really hurting paycheck to paycheck. I can afford sneakers and a soccer ball. So at least they're getting out off the screens, outside, kicking a ball. And, you know, like we used to play ball hockey under a street light. Hopefully they're going to be pretending they're scoring the winning goal for their country.
So let's talk basketball now, because of the impact of, you know, the Raptors being here for 30+ years now. We've seen what's happened in Canadian basketball. This week, though, the Raptors making some huge moves. On the one hand, trading and getting Kawhi Leonard back, who helped lead the team to a championship. And then Kyle Lowry is going to sign a 1-day contract to retire as a Raptor. So he's not going to be on court. But what do you make about this, like what the Raptors are doing here? Because a couple of moves of substance this week.
Well, they just had a poll, where would you like to play? And sadly, Toronto wasn't as high up as I'd like to see in the NBA, because you got to go through customs and everything else. But this is the kind of statement you make. Leonard's coming back. Obviously, Lowry's going to do the 1-day contract so he can retire a Raptor. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. No question his numbers are going to get him in. He's going in with a Raptor jersey. And I think it's just going to start to realize the fact that this is a serious city. And basketball players love playing here because the fans are so energized. I was a season ticket holder for almost 15 years until I started spending more of my time in Costa Rica in the winter. I love basketball for everything it brings. It's the energy. It's like a punk rock concert. It's got, the whole fans are engaged. It's not like, oh, hockey's about to play, stop the music. So I think that Leonard coming back is a magical thing. I think he's, you know, he's past due. There's still rumors that LeBron James might be coming next, though. There's some talks going on that he might want to suit up. So that's, you know.
And let's pick up on that, because Kawhi Leonard was here for a year. and then left to go home. He is from LA. He wanted to be home. Now he's saying, no, I want to come back to Toronto. That's significant that Kawhi Leonard wants to come to Toronto and leave home, which was a huge deal to him 7 years ago.
Yeah, and big credit, Masai Ujiri, like the Giants of Africa, and making them realize that ultimately your home is your people.
Yeah.
It's not the geography. It's not even Toronto. It's not Los Angeles. It is the fact that your roots are from Africa, and we got to do more to support in Africa. So there's a community happening with the Raptors that's got a little bit more soul. I wasn't happy with Leonard. He's the first athlete, I think, to ever leave a championship team and go after. I was very upset with him. I don't think I'll ever love him again before that. But the fact that he's come back is a signal to other basketball players that this is a great place to play.
Yeah.
And you know what? Come in. But I don't know how the Raptors can sign these people selling tickets for Canadian dollars nowadays and having to pay out in U.S. What a delta.
It's a huge thing. Okay, Tony, always appreciate this weekly chat. Thanks so much for this again.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you back here next week.
Thank you, Tony.